Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It is I, the Melanated Oracle, and we are back here again with a pick a card reading. Today the reading will be a message from our highest selves. I honestly wasn't even planning on recording, but while doing a meditation, I specifically heard the words, return to yourself. And when I sat with those words a little bit longer, I just got the feeling that we needed messages from our highest selves at this time, especially with Mars getting ready to go into a retrograde in the sign of Aries, which I'm already feeling and seeing the effects of it. So I just wanted to take the time to do this reading. If I sound a little different, if I sound raspy, I've been doing a lot of throat chakra work, so please excuse my voice. But yeah, I just want you all to think of 3 numbers. Number 1, number 2, or number 3. And really take the time to connect with your highest self. Pause this video if you have to really just take the time to sink in to your pure cosmic energy of your highest self. If you feel called after hearing this timeless message from your highest self, make sure you like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. But let's just go ahead and get started. So again, take some time to pause if need be. So if you are the lovelies that chose number 1, this is the reading for you. And so, highest self, I'm a pile number 1. So what's the message they need to hear? 5 of Files. Okay. What is their message right now? What do they need to know? What is it they need to know? Pile number 1. Ace of Candles. I'm getting a picture already in my mind that one to come out. 4 of Tones. I feel like we need, I guess, 2 more. Actually 3 more. 7 of Bells. Nope, just 2 more. And 9 of Tones. Right off the bat, what really stood out to me was the 5 of Files, because there's just so much, I don't even want to say tension, but really heartbreak that is coming out right now, and I'm honestly starting to tear up as I think about it. A feeling of being trapped, of being confined in your own body, and just wondering why nothing is moving, especially with this Mars being ready to go retrograde, which is going to make us feel stagnant, because Mars is all about moving forward. And when they're going retrograde, there's not going to be a lot of progress in a lot of areas. Just feeling like some of the hard work that you've been doing, like it's not going anywhere. Like you're a failure for some of you, not all, but some are really feeling that heavy energy of that. They're just, things aren't going where you imagine them going at this time, especially with all this blue and the deep blues and just this sadness and just hard to anchor. Some of you feel like you're tied to an anchor and just not moving, especially with this 4 of Tones, which usually seem like stability, but it's locked away. You feel like your treasures right now are being locked away from you, like you're not being given the things you deserve at the moment. Because with the 7 of Bells, you've been putting a lot of time and energy into your craft, into new skills, into just learning things overall so you can make your life better, because you have prospects right now. You have 9 of Tones. You're looking to the future. You're looking into making things good now, so in the future you don't have to worry about anything. Everything will be nice because you put in all this hard work. You have stability that you can rely on, especially with the Ace of Candles. You're getting all of these new ideas, you're getting all of this inspiration, but now it suddenly feels like you've hit a brick wall and you're unsure why. And even though I'm saying this is timeless, for my pile number 1 is the energy, the Mars retrograde, which is coming on the 9th, I believe, will be affecting you quite heavily. So I'm gonna ask, what is something that they should be focused on during this time, so you know they don't feel so heavy. What is it that they need to do? And the stack just dropped. But creator of bells, I see all of these feathers, I see all of these bells, especially the number 4. So A, with the feathers, make sure you're having faith in the divine. I know I say that a lot, but really faith can pull you through a lot. And with the number 4, you need to realize that stability comes no matter what. Like, things can be rocky for a little bit while things are progressing, because that's just the way of life. Things go up and they go down, things go up and they go down, ebb and flow. But really, the stability will come. But it cannot come if you yourself cannot remain stable. If you're going to completely embody the 5 of Vials energy, it's going to be very hard for you to build the 9 of Tomes energy, because 9 of Tomes is having faith in all the seeds that you've planted already, because you're looking for them to sprout. You know you put in all the work. The 10 of Tomes represents, all of your endeavors, and just all of it's just right there. Wonderful job. But the 9, you're looking around, you're still waiting. You're making progress, but you're still waiting. But if you fall into this 5 of Vials energy and you don't allow yourself to come out of it, then you're going to have a little bit of a rough time. I'm going to move on to the frequency cards to see what frequency you really need to tune in to. I want to say be able to move forward, because I feel like no matter when you see this, that whoever is seeing this, for some of you, it's not even a complete feeling of trapped. It's just of stagnant energy. And I just honestly heard of an old attic that hasn't been dusted in a long time. How it just feels so stagnant because nothing's been moved, and when you move something, just a lot of things get shaken out because it's been so long. That's kind of the energy I'm feeling for this pile. And honestly, I feel like you haven't been feeling stagnant for long, but I feel like there might be a lot of fire in this chart. Some of you may be Aries, but you're really thinking about how you want things to move along no matter what's happening outside, no matter what's happening in the world. You want to keep pushing forward, but that cannot be done. Allowance. Allowance says the frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. Right now, the reason you are feeling this 5 of Vials energy, this stagnation, and all of these things is because you're resisting. You're resisting the energy. You are resisting the time of stillness. You are resisting the time of relaxation because you want to go, especially with the Ace of Candles. You're like, I got this idea. I got it down pat. I can just keep going. I don't need to break. I don't need to, chill. Creator of Bells. I'm ready for the stability. 7 of Bells. I've been putting in all this work. 9 of Tomes. It's almost there. I'm almost there. But that's not what you need to be doing right now. Your higher self wants you to take some time to breathe. Take some time to relax. Take some time to really surrender. Have synergy. The frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that result in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace that unfamiliar so that new, exciting co-creations can birth to a new reality. Right now, your highest self really wants you to surrender to the flow and just go with the flow. Doesn't want any resistance right now, because by you finally being able to surrender and not go, I feel like a lot of you will be having a lot of eye openings. You'll be seeing things in a different perspective, and it will allow you to co-create more, because right now especially when you think about the way the universe works. If you're going to keep chasing after something and chasing after and not give any wiggle room for things to happen naturally, or, you know, for the universe to kind of do its own thing and kind of, you know, send you some blessings every now and then, if you're constantly saying that no, it needs to happen exactly like this because this is what I'm doing, it needs to happen like this, if you're putting in all that resistance, you know, it's going to be hard for you to co-create, to have that synergy, to have that allowance. The reason I smile is because I pull, catch your breath, just breathe, honey. All you gotta do is breathe. I feel like all of you are really charged up, which is not a bad thing, but right now your highest self is telling you that is not what you need to be doing right now. You need to be resting. You need to be just simply focusing on tending to yourself. And something I just heard is tending to yourself, on making sure that, you know, your energy is taken care of before any of your endeavors, any other people, because you come first no matter what. Because at the end of the day, you're in your body. Trust your own understanding. So I feel like, especially with all the purple, I feel like some of you already know this. I feel like some of you know that you should be taking a break, that you should be resting, that you should be relaxing, but you're just thinking like, how can I possibly relax when I put in all this work? Because you put in all that work. We are beings having a human experience, keyword human. You know what humans need? Humans need rest, humans need sleep, humans need sex, humans need a lot of basic things that our society often doesn't encourage us to take, because I don't know, they forget like the amygdala exists. And I'm saying the amygdala because, you know, that's where all this stuff just sits, I think. I'm pretty sure. I hope my psychology is right. But, you know, just think about the basic needs right now. You don't need to really go above and beyond. You know, if need be, ask for help, ask source for help, whatever source may be, your spirit guides, your ancestors. Really tell them, like, you know, I need help. It's hard for me to just take the time to relax right now, so I really need you to work with me to help me. Just, you know, ask them, well, you know, what's some self-care I can do right now? Got throwing shade. This is, nobody is throwing shade at you. You're going to be throwing shade at yourself, because you're like, how on earth am I supposed to relax with everything going on? New lifestyle. You need to create a new lifestyle that incorporates more self-care, that incorporates more time for rest. Rest is going to be key, because I feel like this group really doesn't take the time to rest. It's not personal. So don't think that if you take the time to rest, that people are going to attack you personally. And if somebody does attack you for saying you need a day off or to just rest or relax, then don't take it personal, because really it's not a reflection of you. It's more so of them, because they might be the same way that you are right now, of constantly needing to do something, constantly needing things to go a certain place, constantly needing to work. And then I hear for them, it's more so for external validation. But it's not personal. It's a reflection of them. So if some of you are scared to rest and relax because of what people will say, you know, don't take it as a reflection of you. How people treat you and what they say to you is not a reflection of yourself. It's a reflection of them as human beings. You have to say goodbye to this old lifestyle. So you pull goodbye and new lifestyle. So you need to let go of always thinking that something needs to be done all the time. Some of you, I just heard, may have anxiety, and I'm really thinking about this because there was a point in my life where I had anxiety to the point where I had to keep doing things, and this might be tying into some of you, but I had to keep doing things, because if I stopped doing things, I would really think about the things that would be bothering me in life, or I would think about things that I had not healed from that would bother me. And so this may relate to some of you. Some of you may, and this may be a reason why your highest self wants you to stop being on the go, go, go all the time, because when you're on go, 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 you can't really take the time to do some reflection. You can't really take the time to journal about what's bothering you, or talk about what's bothering you, or really work through anything you need to work through, because your mind is constantly on the go, so there's no stillness. So your higher self may want you to take some break, not only because you need it, but because it will help you grow as a person when you are able to face the darkness within yourself. Soul tribe. So some of you may want to spend time with those that are near and dear to your heart, especially if you've been go. You probably have not been giving them the time and energy that they need to spend with you at this time. Not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, it's something you really want to do, not only for yourself, but to maintain those relationships as well. And then they may be needing you. Empathy overload. So some of you may be empaths, my lovely empaths. You need to really detox, is what I just heard. Specifically salt baths, salt sprays, whatever you need to do. You need to take the time, especially if you've been collaborating with other people. This would be the time to really go inward. If it's not your soul tribe, go inward and just doing some cleansing and grounding for yourself. And last but not least, we have happy outcome. So when you adapt this new lifestyle, I do see that there will be a happy outcome for you, because you're finally going to be connected with your highest self. And when you're able to do that, you're going to be able to connect easier to source, to the universe, to there's the cosmic energy of, I don't know what to call it, because it's really, you can't explain it, but you know what I'm trying to say. And when you're able to do that, that's when life will really start flowing for you. And I just want to leave off with a manifesting card, just seeing goddess energy that you can embody at this time. So you have Demeter, transitions. And the affirmation for you may want to write this down. The ever-changing universe sends gifts in expected and unexpected ways. And that ties into everything, like I said earlier. When you are constantly thinking that your life has to flow in one way, that is creating resistance that you may be unaware of. But when that resistance comes up, it is hard for the universe to give you gifts. It's hard for it to give you blessings. It's hard to give you opportunities, because you're so set in one way, you can't open your eyes to all the possibilities and opportunities around you. So take the energy, specifically energy of Demeter in, and think of transitions. And just so you know, you have gestation. So you're in the process of getting this all together. It's not happening just yet, but you're in the process of allowing yourself to surrender. And again, your affirmation is the ever-changing universe sends gifts in expected and unexpected ways. So I hope that this resonated with you all. If it did, make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. For all of my lovelies that chose pound number 2, or I guess number 2, then this is the reading for you. That is the message from their higher self. Diviner. Okay. Dreamer of Candles. Creator of Candles. I just realized I wasn't showing them. I apologize. What is the message they need to know? Message from the higher self that they need to know. Three of Candles. A lot of fire energy. Right there. 10 of Vials. This one is calling me as well. 5 of Candles, again with the candles. Alright, there's a lot going on with this pile, but what really caught my eye was the Diviner. Really going in and being in tune with yourself, because right now I am seeing a lot of purple. Making sure that you're listening to your inner voice, especially, and that's relating to this 5 of Candles right here. A lot of tension and conflict with those around you, specifically in your living area for some. Because for some, I literally just heard the words roommates. For others, I heard dorms, especially since some college students may be moving in right now, especially with everything going on. There may be a lot of tension and conflict just because now is really not a good time for you. I'm sorry about that. But that's for some. For others, this is really just with your living situation overall. This may be family members, this may be siblings. For others, it may be the person you are currently living with as a partner. Again, this is timeless, but I will state, if you are currently watching this in the time of Mars retrograde, it is playing a factor into this, especially with your relationships. Mars retrograde, don't make any huge decisions if nothing major is happening. It's just a lot of things may be brought up to the surface that you were not aware of, and that's just some things that you're going to reflect on, and I'll leave it at that, because we do have 10 of Vials on the other hand. So there is harmony, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of conflict and tension in your highest self. It wants you to take note of what you could be doing better in the situation. Specifically said, the way you are reacting to what is happening, especially with the Dreamer of Candles. That's what just caught my eye. You see the Dreamer of Candles, very calm, very focused on, I guess inward is the best word to say. They're not really focused on all of the fireflies around them. They could be distracted by what's happening outside of their selves or themselves, but they're not. They're completely focused on the inside. Creator of Candles. A lot going on, but if you see, the eyes are still closed. They are still focused on themselves. They're focused on really using their own energy, reflecting on their own energy. I'm going to show both cards side by side, and I hope you can see. But with this, I really feel like this will be a time of inward reflection. This would be a good time for journaling, especially with the Three of Candles. You're going to be having some forward movement, some progression, but it's going to be more of a journey within yourself, if that makes any sense. I'm hoping I'm making sense, because this is the message that I'm picking up. Focusing on yourself, focusing on your intuition, looking in, because there's going to be a lot of distractions outside of you, a lot of things that are going to be trying to grab your attention. And for some of you, this may be a test from the universe itself, saying, are you going to get distracted by all these little small things that we put outside of you? Or are you going to continue on your path moving forward in your growth, in your own growth, whether that be personal or spiritual? To me, there's not a difference, but I know for some there is. So you can reach that rainbow of peace and harmony. Because a lot of the times, tension with others is, yes, some of it is from people, but a lot of times the things that we feel towards people often reflect things inside of ourselves, and this is something that your highest self really wants me to convey. So say for instance, someone is, I guess they're messy. They're a little messy, especially with the living situation. You're like, well, they never clean up after themselves. They never do this. They never do that. Do you always clean up after yourself? Can you say 100% of the time that you're always clean no matter what's happening? And reflect. Or you, for instance, someone is constantly coming to you with their problems, and I'm not sure, because let's just say they're not an energy vampire. Let's just put it like that. They're not an energy vampire. They're someone who just continuously comes with their problems, and they're kind of unaware of your feelings. Your higher self may want you to look in and say, okay, are you setting boundaries? Are you actually setting boundaries with this person and letting them know that, they may be draining your energy too much? Are you letting them know that, if they're going to continuously come to you about your problems or about their problems, then you should be able to do the same to them? Do you feel even comfortable enough to open up to them about your problems, or are they only comfortable with you? Have you told them about how comfortable you are with things? This is really just you taking a big step back and looking at the mirror and going based off of that, but we're going to continue to the frequency cards. What is it? What is the message from the higher self? What is the frequency? Conception. Conception says the frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. You cannot have awareness if you cannot reflect on yourself, if you cannot reflect on your emotions, if you cannot reflect on your thoughts. For you, this is a time of self-reflection, of self-awareness. Not really looking at anything outside of you. You have allowance as well. The first group got this. Allowance states the frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. So, are you simply, let me figure out how to word this. When it comes to allowance, are you resisting? Are you resisting change by avoiding self-reflection and looking at those around you, looking at the things around you? We can criticize the people around us all we want, but we can't move forward if we don't criticize ourselves first. Do not resist the change, is what I just heard. Do not resist the change. Do not resist the ugly that you may find when you're doing work like this, when you're doing self-reflection, when you're doing your shadow work. For a good majority of you, shadow work needs to be done. No matter how far healed you are, there's always work that needs to be done, and there may be some things lingering in the cracks and corners that you may not have been aware of. You got catch your breath as well. The first pile got this, catch your breath. It's a big time of introspection. Perfect setting. This is when you watch this is the perfect time to go inward. This is the perfect time to take a step back from the outside world. What else is it that they need to know? Love yourself. There may be a lot of flaws that you see that you don't like or that you were not aware of, and they may get you down, but your higher self doesn't want you to get it down. They want you to continue. They want you to love yourself. You have. Try again. And the reason you have that is because you have relationship improvements. So if things still seem rocky after doing your work, that means you didn't dive deep enough. You gotta try it again. Because you'll know when the work is working when you start to see relationship improvements. Especially with those of you who are having kind of tension in the home. Weighing options. Some of you may be thinking, well, is it worth it to look at myself when all these things around me aren't being fixed? You really look inside of yourself and you do work on yourself, your life gets better no matter what happens outside. Because everything starts from within. Is there anything else they need to know? How-tos. Be confident in who you are. After the shadow work is done and even before, always be confident in who you are. Not be discouraged by any distractions, no matter how big or small. And then you have time for play. Make sure that you are taking time to experience pleasure is the word I just heard. Because when I heard play, it didn't really resonate. Experience pleasure. For some of you will want to focus on healing your womb, getting intimate with your womb. That may be a source of insecurity for some of you, is what I just heard, for numerous reasons. And last but not least, we're going to end it off with a manifesting card, a goddess card. So, what energy is assisting them at this time? You got two. Alright. First off, Venus. Creativity. Gestation. Your affirmation, well, one of them is, I am a creative genius and co-creator with the divine. You create your reality. You can create with your hands, you can create with your thoughts, you can create with your visions. Be aware of that. I hope I pronounced this right. Anja. Gonna give up. But this one, if anybody knows how to pronounce it, let me know. Conception. I am worthy, loving. I deserve healthy, sacred partnerships. So that will help those of you who are having some intense living situations with a partner, spouse, sibling, or roommate. I hope this message found you at the right time, and I hope it gave you the guidance you needed. Thank you so much for watching. So for those of you that chose number 3, this is the reading for you. Try yourself. 5 of candles for you as well. Group number 2 got this one. Those cards that I flipped. Got these 6 of candles. 2 of bells. Things are just falling off this pile. 7 of bells in reverse. What else do they need to know? And 6 of bells. So pile number 2, group number 2 got this as well. We have 5 of candles, which always makes me think of just so much tension, especially with all this fiery energy, and then just all of them just literally look like they kind of want to go at each other. But what's interesting to me is that you have the 6 of candles as well. Got this big cake with all these beautiful flowers, and I really just think of a time of celebration. So what I'm picking up is your higher self wants you to be aware that when times of celebrations come, it may be a bit rocky, because I'm not getting the sense that it'll be rocky for you personally. It may be, but I feel like the people around you may not get along the best with each other, because I'm seeing 2 of bells. She looks so, her head's literally gone. She has these 2 bottles and she's trying to decide what on earth should I do, and she thinks about it so hard. She's like, I don't know anymore, I give up, and then just everything just kind of dissipates. I feel like for you, especially with how you're coming from a gloomy place with the 6 of bells and moving to the light, you may be having to make a choice. If not now, sometime soon. I feel like there's instability. 7 of bells. Usually there will be progressing forward, but I feel like because of this tension between these 2 parties, things are regressing back, and it's starting to affect you because you are the common denominator between both of these parties. And you're gonna have to make a choice between one or the other, or maybe a choice between 2 scenarios, 2 people. But a choice, I feel like a choice is gonna have to be made with this group. It's gonna be around a time of celebration, so be wary of that. The choice is going to bring tension no matter what you choose, but there will be a good outcome no matter what you choose. It will be for the best, and that's something you need to believe in. Not as a message from your higher self, it will be for the best. Instead of regressing and feeling like things are going nowhere, once you make that choice, things will be able to move forward. And we're going to look at the frequency cards. So what frequency do they need at this time? What will help them the most, especially with this situation? This choice that needs to be made. What do they need to keep in mind? Just also heard for some people, you may be deciding, it could even be like trying to decide what city to move to. You got the frequency of Gaia. The frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great Mother Earth and to the universe that birthed us all. So for those of you who are deciding between people, know that no matter what, you'll always be connected to these people. There always will. So just if you decide not to, let's say, hang around a certain person because after weighing the cons and pros of, you know, if you should be with this person or this person, that doesn't mean relationship. It can mean friendship or whatever, because these two people just don't get along and it's starting to affect your life and you're feeling more pulled to one than the other, and you know, you literally can't deal with both at the same time because it just causes too much drama or rift. You're always going to be connected to the other person, so don't feel like you're completely abandoning them, because in a way you're not always be there for them. Also got the frequency of synergy. Synergy says the frequency of synergy supports our allowance and acceptance of not so obvious, never seen before combinations and unions that results in new ways of functioning, working, thinking, relating, loving, and being. It reminds us to embrace the unfamiliar so that new yet exciting co-creations give birth to a new reality. I'm really feeling like it's a choice. Literally, I feel like for Pal number 3, it's a choice between something. So be aware that when you do make this choice, it's going to be helping you co-create with the universe, because by you making this decision, it's literally going to help you move along to your path, especially since this question is what is your highest self trying to tell you. It's going to help you move along to your divine path. I don't want to say destined path. I feel like nothing is really set in stone. So by making this choice, you're choosing to move forward in your own personal journey. You got discernment. The frequency of discernment supports our ability to view the world and people around us from a place of inner balance and detachment, yet with compassion and wisdom. Again, you're gonna have to use your spirit of discernment to make this choice, to figure out what is truly the best for you and what is truly in alignment with you, what is going to make your life easier and bring it more joy. That might help. Think of what brings you more joy. Yeah, potential gateway. What really stands out to me is this heart shape in the middle of a tree, and heighten your vitality. So I feel like this other thing or person, whatever it may be, when you cut it off, it's literally going to heighten your vitality, because I feel like by interacting with this thing or person, it was actually causing some blockages, and some of it may have been unintentional, some of it have been intentional, that this person or thing was, you know, sending energy your way. But by finally letting it go, you're going to be opening up yourself to more. Again, going along with that synergy. Love yourself. Make sure at this time when you are deciding this, because you may be feeling really stressed, make sure you're still taking time to love yourself. And even after the decision is done, make sure you're taking time to love yourself. Empathy overload. This other thing may just be too much to handle. It may just be causing you too much drama or strife. Strife is a better word. And if you want to let that go, which you should, it's perfectly okay. Because if anything is causing you strife repeatedly in your life, it's not worth it. It's not worth losing the peace of mind. Results coming. Again, decision has to be made, and it's gonna be soon. Whenever you see this, it's gonna be soon. Alignment. Again, make sure that what you choose is in alignment with what it is that is best for you, with what you want, with what helps you. You're gonna have to use the spirit of discernment for that. Oh, children involved. For some of you, it is lovers. Specifically a past lover, which I'm assuming because you got children involved. So if you got children with somebody, you kind of gotta have a past together. And a new person, should you stay or should you move on? For some, keyword some, you need to be able to trust your intuition and not be tempted by your logical mind. Because your logical mind might tell you already got a kid with this person, shouldn't I just stay with them? What does your intuition tell you? There you have yes. Ask yourself, ask your intuition, what is it you need? What is this that is alignment with you? That is the answer to your question. And last but not least, we're going to pull a goddess card, specifically what energy should you be taking in at this time. This is the first one I saw. I saw a lot, but this one stood out. We got golly, birth pains, and the affirmation is, I embrace the divine beauty in the sacred mess of the creation process. This is gonna be messy. It's gonna be messy because you're letting something go to bring some new in. So things are going to get a tad bit messy for you all. But you need to realize that it's to build a brighter future. Just make sure you are going with what is in alignment with your intuition and what it is that will make you happy. Again, your affirmation is, I embrace the divine beauty and the sacred mess of the creation process. Because when you make something, usually it starts off a little rough because you're making it, right? You're creating something that before didn't exist. Creating a future that didn't exist before that. You know, a new lifestyle, a new life. You're creating something new that will better your life. So it's not going to be easy now. But you know, I really hope that when this message found you, that it gave you some guidance. Thank you so much for watching.